My name is Briar Rose Rood, and I will be graduating with a major in criminology. I am also going to be continuing my education at DePaul, getting my master's in counseling with a specialization in clinical mental health.
My name is Timothy Gaylord. I am a French teacher who also has a science credential, but I really prefer teaching the French classes. And I work right now at Los Gatos High School in California.
I decided to take French when I was in 8th grade, so I was still in middle school. The first day I walked in, because I didn't know the campus of high school, I was like terrified because they were all like taller and older and had like car keys and stuff. And basically we walked into Monsieur Gaylord's class. He immediately started speaking French, and I was terrified, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's saying. But eventually, I just fell in love with his class and the way he ran it.
I was fortunate that I went through a graduate teaching program, and I had a fantastic mentor teacher. And we learned lots of different tricks and ways to teach language. And the things that resonated most with me is that we had a period, generally it was about 55 minutes or sometimes a block period, which was about, at that school it was 100 minutes, I believe, 104 minutes or something. So it was a long period. And if the kids are stuck in their seat for that much time, they tune out, just like most people would. And so I figured out that each period we would transition from anywhere 3 to 5 activities and spend kind of 20 minutes on one, or maybe even less for the first one to warm up, then transition to a new activity and get them out of their seats. Do an action activity like Mr. Gaylord says, or you're going to go around the room and there's questions on the walls, or you're going to have a question in your hand and you have to say it to 7 different people and figure out who has the answer that corresponds to your question, or things like that. So that way the kids are getting their blood flowing, their heart rates are up, they're interacting with each other, and they're speaking the target language.
He introduced us to like this whole new world that I had never seen before. Not just in like learning French, but just French culture, French films, French music. I just fell in love with it. In the middle of our semester, my grades started falling like dramatically, and I wasn't doing well on his tests. And this was like in the semester where, you know, the material started getting more difficult. So I thought that I was falling grade-wise because I wasn't understanding and I just didn't know it.
Generally speaking, when you have students who like to participate, who are, you know, getting the right answer in different ways, like whether it's writing it down. I like to do dry erase boards, little individualized dry erase boards, and you can tell right away if they know it or they don't, and if they're enthusiastic participants. And you know, like, but then when you get to a hard test stress situation and you see completely different results, that's a red flag.
He like took me to the side and had me stay after class so everyone left and he could just talk to me, and he basically quizzed me verbally on everything that we were doing in class, and I got them right. And he basically said, like, you know, it's obvious that you understand the material, and so I'm not worried about you not understanding the material. I think you have test anxiety.
And in her case, we figured out that the testing situation was causing her so much anxiety that she wasn't able to perform, which, you know, is understandable. It's like stage fright.
So he gave me some techniques where I focused one question at a time. The main thing that I got tripped up on was I would look at the first page as like a whole. I wouldn't look at it as just like several questions. I would look at it as one just huge question, and I would start like freaking out, and I would just start randomly filling things in, and I wouldn't really think about the questions. He helped me with that, and I started doing his techniques that he suggested, and I improved in his class. I started like climbing back up grade wise, and I realized it wasn't just for French, it was for everything that I was doing. To this day, I have him like in the back of my mind, even though our class was 9 years ago. If I start tripping up on a question, hear him just go one by one and we'll get through it. I felt like he cared about me, like as a, not just as a student, but as a friend, as like a person. I'm just really thankful that he was placed in my life when he was.
We don't do this job for the recognition. And as a French teacher, it's rare that you really get picked out or called out for much. It's a fun class. A lot of the kids really enjoy it, but a few years down the road, the most remembered thing is usually the crepe parties or something along those lines. But yeah, I'm just absolutely floored, like so emotionally like happy and thankful and grateful that she remembers me and that I had a positive impact in her life.